Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. It's been about a week since I posted my last video. I posted something out there in the community to the effect that I am taking a break from YouTube, and I guess I wanted to give a little bit more context about it and talk about the future of the channel, where it's going, what changes I might make along the way, and just kind of what's behind my decision to kind of step away as things are going on in my personal life, as far as I might be moving in the next 6 months or so. So I've decided to take a break to work on things around the house. And so my weekends are pretty filled up with projects to try and, just do little improvements like here in the next couple weeks. I'm gonna start working on the kitchen, lay down some new floors, things like that. Kind of lay down some new floors in a few different rooms, and just fix little things that I can do to hopefully entice people to want to buy the place. And so that's kind of behind it. And also with the content with Walking Dead and how it's kind of taken over my channel, mostly because a lot of the shows that I've watched the last few years that I've covered on the channel have since ended. And so the content that is, available, or stuff that I'm interested in, is very limited. And so Walking Dead has really taken over. And the interest in Walking Dead just it's not there. I mean, you have your bigger channels that definitely have that market kind of cornered, people that have been doing it for years and years, and so they have their audience. And so it's kind of a little bit harder for smaller channels such as myself to really build that audience, because people already have a go-to for their Walking Dead stuff. And so I've decided to just kind of maybe reevaluate what I want to put out there on the channel. I definitely want to do some gaming down the road, and the house that I'll be moving into, hopefully by next spring or so, will kind of afford me that opportunity, because I'll have an actual dedicated space. Because right now I just have a corner of a room, so it's really hard to do things. And with my two young children always wanting my attention, always coming to me for different things, it's hard to produce a whole lot of different content. And so with Walking Dead, I guess I've just decided I'll still do Walking Dead stuff, but I won't be doing reviews on every single episode of Daryl and Dead City, as those are only two pieces of Walking Dead stuff right now. So I've decided I will pick and choose what I want to do about Walking Dead. Right now, because I would do videos on rumors, on news, on episode reviews, and things like that. And so I've really decided to kind of limit what I do with Walking Dead, because it doesn't get the views, it doesn't get the audience and everything, simply because, as I mentioned, people have their go-to for Walking Dead, and just the Walking Dead's not that interesting that it's drawing a big audience anymore. People just don't care, and for good reason, because the shows have definitely dragged on. And something I guess I've come to realize, and something I guess I've always kind of known, is that the Walking Dead spinoffs that we have right now, the Dead City, Daryl Dixon, these are side stories. These are filler stories that people really don't care about. When it come to Rick Grimes and Michonne and some of our other characters, the interest did go up. The views, the subscriptions, things like that on my channel shot up like I'd never seen on the channel. And as soon as The Ones Who Live ended, it was done. People didn't care. So from here on out, I decided I'm really going to pick and choose what I decide to make content about. As far as Walking Dead, I'm not going to report on every little thing. I'm going to report on things that are big, things that people could actually be gravitated towards. And with that would be, of course, any news of Rick Grimes' return, because the last thing we got was that Andy Lincoln is in conversations to come back in some capacity. We don't know exactly what that story would entail. Will it involve other members of the original cast? Will we see any parts of Alexandria play a part in whatever they decide to do down the road? I really, really hope so, because I think that would drive it home. People would get excited about it again, to see that production pick back up in Georgia and see some semblance of what The Walking Dead used to be. Because as it stands now, the Walking Dead studio, I think it's Rivercrest or something like that, the studio where everything took place for The Walking Dead, the Commonwealth square that they had built up for those last couple of seasons. That's still standing. Whether or not there's any plans to reuse that for any more Walking Dead stuff is still unknown. And I think some of the dressing for that particular soundstage area has come down. And so we're still very much left in the dark about what's going on with Walking Dead and everything, and with any potential of Rick's return or just what their plans are for the future, considering that Daryl will be ending next season. And I imagine Dead City is right there, right behind it, because we don't know what's going on beyond season 3 at the moment. But I really believe that they will take those shows and they will come to a close in the very near future to make room for Rick and his return and any possibility of closing up all of these characters and all these stories and everything. Because I really came to the conclusion, especially this last episode of Daryl. I mean, people said it was a good episode. It was an okay episode. And, everything, I guess, we can expect from Daryl and everything right now. But it was very much a filler episode. We had our episode villains, we had our episode little victims, I guess, that Daryl comes to the rescue of, and then he moves on his journey, continue on to Barcelona, where there's still talk about the Jeffrey Grimes story becoming a reality. So with that, I guess I'm definitely going to be very choosy about what I cover on the channel and whatnot as far as Walking Dead's concerned, because I really want to start to produce variations of content like I did when I first started the channel. But as I mentioned, a lot of the shows have ended, or just the time that it takes for shows to be produced these days is just mind-numbing. And so there's a lot of dead space in between what we cover. But I've decided with Walking Dead, I will just be very choosy. And with that will only be actual, factual, backed up kind of news reports, anything exciting that might come along the way. And of course, I will be updating about my upcoming trip next spring to the camp event, the Walking Dead camp events. As of right now, there are no announcements, there are no guest announcements or anything like that, because I believe they are very much focused on the Scream City Walking Dead event that's taking place here in a couple of weeks in Florida. So everything's kind of focused right there right now. We should hopefully see some announcements towards the end of the year. I hear that a lot of it kind of takes place closer to the end of the year / beginning, and then really towards the springtime when it's, coming up to the event and everything. So I'm very excited for when they do start announcing guests for that and everything. So I will kind of keep it, a little bit more strict as far as what I produce content with the channel, because it's not so much that I'm tired of doing the channel. It's that's just the interaction, everything right now is very low, and it's kind of it's discouraging because I started the channel for, I guess, to address my mental health, because it's never been that great, and to address my anxieties and whatnot. And it definitely has helped, especially with some of the people that have been so kind to comment and leave kind words and things like that. I have people that are return viewers, which is few and far between, but I understand too, it's because just you have to appeal to a certain audience with different things. So I'm really hoping here along the way, the next few months, and especially if things progress to where I actually do leave my current house to go move to a bigger one that will support my growing family and whatnot, and I will have an actual dedicated space where I can take more time to produce different things. Like I mentioned, I would very much like to do video games because I love video games, but it's few and far between as far as games that I actually care about and things that I actually want to invest my time in. But I guess aside from that, there are changes coming to the channel. There are things that I'm going to try to, I guess, do a better job at producing, because I watched some of my earlier videos. I feel like I put more feeling into it, I put more heart into it. And with this Walking Dead stuff, it's just a matter of churning out videos and not really putting a whole lot of thought behind them. So I'm going to try and change that, try to, get better at editing and things like that, and just produce content that people want to watch, basically. And so I thank you if you have stuck with the channel and you have been a return person to view things that I put out, a return viewer, people that leave comments and likes and things to really hype up my channel and, encourage me to produce things. So I really hope that you will continue to come back as I figure out what I'm going to do with the channel and whatnot, and this break that I'm taking as things are just happening, my personal life that I have to take care of first. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little update. If you did, of course, leave the likes and everything. Consider coming back, subscribing to the channel, and I would appreciate it. So I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.